second.
And welcome back.
Thank you very much. It's been a long trip to the end of the deck and back, so I'm exhausted. There, give me a chance to
I've just
recoup here.
Enjoying the scenery with the snow on the mountains and
Isn't
sitting
it
here
nice?
and not freezing to death.
Isn't it nice to have?
It's gorgeous out here.
Yeah, it's just wonderful.
Appreciate you coming and sharing all this time about your book. You know, and I just thought, you told us the Forgotten Option. And I'm just curious of what it's all about. You told us why you wrote it. Can you tell some in-depth stories that we can get from this?
Yeah, if I had to kind of summarize what it's about, I would do like 4 specific things. One is, again, it stresses the importance of first-time marriages. I think that gets lost in the equation these days, but first-time marriages are really important. So don't, we need to really hold on to that. And actually,
pretty bad statistics to back that up.
Yeah, but we need to give those that are in first-time marriages honor, and I believe that that's the goal to shoot for, and for each one of us to finish the course by saying, "Hey, look, I stayed in my first marriage." The second thing would be that, again, there's a place of growth. It's on your way to being dissatisfied and thinking you have to get divorced. There's actually a place of growth where you can resolve these things. It takes some tough communication. It may take some time apart, but it really is an opportunity to grow and become a better person. The third thing would be that one of the things I discuss in the book is our true needs. Like, our true need is to communicate, really communicate. And I've experienced this in my life these days. You've maybe conquered this years ago, but that the most difficult conversations are really the most important ones to have. You tend to avoid a difficult conversation, but the most important ones to have are the difficult ones. Would you agree?
I agree. Those, especially with your spouse, your wife. That's you can talk to your buddies and other people a lot easier to bring out some truth and things that affect you with your wife. Those are important, and those are the ones we shy away from pretty easy.
Right.
I understand that. Us understand how important it is to get over that.
Yeah.
It's work.
It's work. The second need we have is to be responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Another need we have is to realize what gifts we were given. I think that, like I've said before, that marriage is not the problem. It's unhappiness in my life somewhere. And usually it's stuff that I need to fix. So I really advocate that people take a look at their gifts, take a look at their career, take a look at areas in their life that maybe, weight, exercise, areas that they're unhappy with, and improve those areas so when they come back to their marriage, they bring in improvement. And another aspect of that is there's spiritual things that people need to take a look at. That my wife can't be there for me 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Larry, as much as I like you, can't be there for me. If I call you at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going to say,
Click.
call back during normal business hours. So, but God is there 24/7, and
Right.
that's just such an important thing. When I speak of God, I speak of God of the greatest book that was ever written, and the one that sent His Son here for us to redeem us. So the third thing again is the real needs that we have, and the last thing is just the importance of keeping the family intact. It's just so important. So.
Well, you mentioned earlier how big that family is when we get married, taking on the whole family.
Yeah, it really is.
We have children, in-laws, and grandma. How big of a deal you're setting up for?
Right. There's I was in a doctor's office years ago, and there was a lady. She was a lady doctor. She was recommended to me in Seattle, and we talked about our families. And her mom, she was actually studied at the University of Washington, and she practiced in Seattle, but she came from a small town in Nairobi. And her dad started to become physically abusive to her mom, and her mom said, Again, I really love this. She said, I'm going to keep your last name. This is our address. This is where our mail comes. This is our furniture, but I'm not putting up with what you're doing. And so she would take off. She went and visited my doctor at the University of Washington and stayed with her husband in Seattle for a year and a half, I think. And then went back home. And he...
Straightened out?
No, I guess he didn't get that one. So she did that again.
Another lesson?
No. So she went to like Minnesota or something to visit the other daughter and then went back home. And so this doctor was telling me, she goes, what do you think happened? And I was thinking, well, I'm a permanent vacation status. What happened? And she said that they came back together again and their marriage was stronger than ever. And in a wonderful way. And so Mom saw the bigger picture of the family and went to the highest degree to save the family. And her daughter, my doctor, was really proud of her mom and her dad for finally straightening that out. So the family's really, really important.
That's an enlightening story. I like that.
Yeah.
And it, what I get from the book is kind of, I may be wrong, but it seems that marriage should be a priority in our life. Number one, our jobs and everything else other than our faith. You have to work at it constantly. So is that something that I should be thinking about constantly?
Well, our pastor said, world-renowned guy, he said that when early on, he realized he used the 5 Ps. He said he was a person, so he needed a personal relationship with God, that he was a partner, so his relationship with his wife was second in his life. He was a provider, so in essence he was talking about his children. No, he's a parent. I'm sorry, he was a parent, and he was a provider, and then last thing was he was a pastor. And he said, I thought this was really good. He said, in any given week, he said, something may crowd in. Yeah. And he said, you just, you have to adjust in any given week. But he said he looked at his life and he said overall he felt like he had kept those in the right priority. So yeah, our marriage is number 2. And actually, when you think about being a parent, the kids don't. I personally believe is the kids don't get in the way of them. They're an accent to our lives, and we love them, and they're important. But children would rather be in certain unhappy circumstances and still have mom and dad together than otherwise. So, my wife, not talking about my children, but my wife is like you said, it's number 2 priority.
So it's good for. I like the 5 Ps.
That's the only way I can remember it because he talked
about. Good thing
you
only have 5 fingers. I'd be lost.
So,
yeah, and your children, they move on and they become adults. So then you're still your partner.
Yeah,
is priority. So
yeah, all along the way. I'll just give one more story. Is that my grandma and grandpa, they weren't overly religious people, but they had a habit of reading together every night before they'd go to bed. They would read. Not Golf Digest, but it could have been that, right? Better Homes and Gardens, How to Build Patios, or Clive Cluster's latest novel. They would read before they went to bed each night. And what that did over the years is it helped them. Every night they connected for a half hour, had a little chatter, little talk about something instead of being disconnected for months or years or whatever. And that's a great principle. I want that in my life, is just to connect every night with your wife in some meaningful way. Whether it's playing cards together or
settle down.
Yeah, just before you go to bed. So.
Good advice.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good. I only have 5 fingers. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Is there anything else?
No, that's that. That's
Where can we get this? We're pushing their book.
Well, you can get it on Barnes and Noble.
A long time ago that you wrote this.
Well, it's been a year or two, but you can get it on Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
And you can get it on Amazon. And our website will be coming up soon, and you can get it there optionally. I'd rather you get it through Barnes and Noble or Amazon because they take care of shipment and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I appreciate that because I think I can use it as a good study guide. Being married myself,
You're doing really well. You don't
I
need any
appreciate
study guides.
a lot of good ideas in it. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
what you did. That's a lot of work.
Thank you.
Thank you again for sharing your time with us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.